The next morning, Toby chuffed carefully along his branch line. The storm had torn trees from the ground, and the farm buildings had been damaged. Then Toby saw the most shocking sight of all. "The windmill is broken," he cried. "This means the end of my business," said the miller, sadly. "I can't afford the timber to make the repairs." Toby really wanted to help. There must be a way. Suddenly, his driver saw a fallen tree ahead. Harvey and Terence were clearing the track. Sir Topham Hatt was cross. "This storm has caused confusion and delay. Remove this tree immediately." But Toby had an idea. "Please, sir, the windmill has been broken. The wood from this tree can mend it and make it work again." "A splendid idea," agreed Sir Topham Hatt. Toby proudly took the tree to the miller. The miller was delighted. "Now we can build our windmill back up again. It will be good as new." Toby watched as the work began. It took a long time. But at last, the windmill was completed. Sir Topham Hatt was most impressed. The miller was grateful. "Thank you, Toby. Your idea saved my windmill." Toby beamed happily. Now the windmill produces more flour than ever before. And Toby makes twice as many deliveries to the market. He never tires of watching the sales go round. And he is very proud that the miller now calls it Toby's Windmill. The engines on the Island of Sodor were excited. A new park was being built. Everyone was working hard to get the job finished on time. Duncan was feeling impatient. "Get a move on, slow coach," he puffed crossly to Rusty. "You're so slow, I'll finish first," Duncan boasted to Skarloey. Skarloey was cross. A little later, he met Rusty at the new park station. "Duncan thinks he's fast," Skarloey steamed, "but he's just a bossy boiler." "Better safe than fast," Rusty agreed. Duncan drew into the station. He was all puffed up and pleased with himself. "I finished first," he wheezed proudly. "In that case," said Sir Topham Hatt, "I've got another job for you. You're to collect the elephant on the sidings and take it to the park." "Yes, sir," chuffed Duncan. "This elephant is very important. You must be very careful." When Duncan saw the elephant, he was surprised. "Why, it's only a statue," he said. "This is an easy job." "You must wait for the brake van," said the station master. "This statue is very heavy." "Nonsense," huffed Duncan to his driver. "I've pushed heavier loads than this plenty of times." "Let's go, Duncan," said his driver. "But we must be careful." So they left, but without the brake van. But Duncan wasn't careful. He was impatient. "We'll show them how fast I can be," Duncan whistled. "We'll deliver this statue, and I'll still finish first." Duncan started to speed up. Soon, Duncan was going as fast as his wheels could carry him. His driver was starting to worry, so he tried to brake. But Duncan was out of control. He was scared. He had never gone this fast. People waved and cars tooted as Duncan sped by. Suddenly, a tractor trundled across Duncan's line. "Look out!" shouted his driver. Slow down, whistled Rusty. "I can't," Duncan cried as he shot past. Whoa! Elephant Park loomed ahead. Duncan's driver applied the brakes, but it was too late. The statue flew through the air and landed in the lake. Luckily, nobody was hurt. In no time, Sir Topham had arrived. He was cross. "I told you to be careful. You should have waited for the brake van," he said sternly. "I'm sorry, sir," mumbled Duncan. He felt very embarrassed. Duncan was repaired in time for the opening of Elephant Park. He was very surprised to see the statue was still standing in the lake. "Everyone loves the elephant in the lake," said Lady Hat. "Even if it was a mistake," added Sir Topham Hatt. "Hooray for Duncan's mistake!" cheered the engines. Duncan blushed and went a deep shade of red. The engines on the Island of Sodor want to be responsible, reliable, and really useful. They are happiest when Sir Topham Hatt gives them important work to do. James thinks his work is very important indeed. He is proud of his shiny red paint and likes to look clean and smart. One day, Percy puffed to the washdown. "My whistle's clogged." He tried to blow hard to clean it out, but instead blew mud all over Gordon. "Silly!" huffed Gordon. Percy was trying not to laugh. "Keep your dirt away from me. I'm collecting the mayor today." "I should do that." "Really?" chuckled James. "You'd need a washdown first." "Pah!" snorted Gordon. James just laughed. Soon, James had collected the mayor and puffed proudly away. "Just look at me, Gordon!" "Show off!" grunted Gordon. Sir Topham Hatt came to the sheds. "I need an engine to collect the Queen of Sodor." "Who's the Queen of Sodor?" "A leaky old barge," replied Sir Topham Hatt. "She needs to go to the workshops. It's dirty work, I'm afraid." Just then, James shunted into the sheds. This gave Gordon an idea. "Is collecting the Queen of Sodor important work, too?" "Very important work. Do I have a volunteer?" "Very important work!" exclaimed James. "I'll do it." "Then it's settled. She's waiting at the canal." "Thank you, sir," said James. Gordon was delighted his plan was working. "I'm here to collect the Queen of Sodor," announced James. "There she is," the odd manager said. James was furious. "That slimy old tub? Gordon tricked me. He wants me to get dirty. I'll show him. A shiny engine like me never gets dirty." Soon, James set off with the Queen of Sodor. It was a long journey to the workshops. "Shiny and clean, puffed James. Then there was trouble. The tall funnel of the old barge crashed through a pipe. James was sure he'd get covered in sludge. But he didn't. Shiny and clean, he declared again. The workmen soon cleared the mess, and then James was on his way. He arrived safe and sound, and pleased that the dirty work was done. When James returned to the sheds, he was very proud of himself.
How did you manage to stay so clean?
I have to stay clean, boasted James, in case there's important work to do. Just then, Percy returned from the quarry. My whistle is clogged again. Watch out, James! Dust went everywhere. I did warn you. You'll need a washdown now, teased Thomas. Good, snorted James. It will make me readier than ever. I'm such a splendid engine. Oh. Oliver and Duck are great Western engines. They deliver goods and passengers when the roads are closed by deep snow. But Oliver thinks snow is messy and cold. I'm a great Western engine, he chuffed one day. I shouldn't have to shiver. Begging your pardon, Mr. Oliver, said Toad, but I think snow is splendid. Later, Oliver saw some children building a giant snowman for their winter festival. Each time Oliver passed by, the snowman grew bigger. And bigger. And bigger. And bigger. Just an observation, Mr. Oliver. Snow is magical. Oh. Finally, the snowman was completed. Oliver chuffed back to his warm, cozy shed. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for him. You have to return to the mountain village, he said. Some goods are needed for the festival. But all this snow makes my wheels feel chilly. Really useful engines work hard whatever the weather. Soon Oliver was loaded and on his way. The snow was cold. It had frozen the points and diverted Oliver into the station's sidings. Whoa, shiver my boiler, cried Oliver. His driver applied the brakes. Is there a problem, Mr. Oliver? Yeah, there is! Woo! That could have been a little smoother. Oliver felt awful. He thought the children would be upset about their snowman. Oliver's driver went for help. Sir Topham Hatt was just leaving his office when he got the call. Duck will bring the breakdown crane first thing in the morning, he said. Oliver's driver returned and told him the news. I'll be out here all night, moaned Oliver. I'm afraid so. Luckily, the village inn had a toasty warm room for Oliver's driver. But Oliver was getting colder and colder. His fire had gone out, and his funnel was covered in icicles. I was right all along. There's nothing magical about snow. Brr. Toad was beginning to think Oliver might be right. Next morning, the children saw the situation. Look, a little girl shouted. Our snowman has eyes in its tummy. No, it doesn't, laughed the little boy. It's Oliver. That gave the children an idea. When Oliver woke up, he was surrounded by happy children. Oliver's a wonderful snow engine, they cried. Oliver was so relieved that suddenly he didn't even feel cold anymore. When Duck arrived with the breakdown crane, Oliver didn't want to leave. He was enjoying the winter festival so much. You were right, Toad, Oliver called. There are some magical things about snow. Perhaps, Mr. Oliver, shivered Toad. Absolutely.